I'm Tim Stevens, and this is the 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid. 25 marks the first year that the Civic has been available as a hybrid, which not only means up to 50 miles per gallon, but 200 horsepower too. Is it worth the extra spend over the base Civic? We're going to run you through all the numbers, then we'll give it the full Capital One review treatment to find out. Under the hood, we have a 2-liter engine connected to that hybrid system, which gives 200 horsepower and 232 pound-feet of torque. It's connected to what Honda calls an eCVT transmission. It'll do 50 miles per gallon in the city, 47 on the highway, and 49 MPG combined. Up front, we have LED headlights with automatic high beams, then 18-inch wheels wrapped in all-season tires on all 4 corners. In the trunk, we have 14.8 cubic feet of storage, which you can expand out by pulling these levers to fold down the 60/40 split folding rear seat. Inside the Civic Hybrid sedan, we have seating for 5 with heated front seats. Here, there's a 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system powered by Google, which means there's Google Maps built in. But if you want, you can use wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay for navigation instead. And there's a wireless cell phone charger here too. All right, those are all the numbers in the Civic Hybrid sedan. Let's hit the road and see how it drives. All right, we're heading out on track in the Civic Sport Touring Hybrid. And no, this is not exactly a track car. I'm certainly not going to confuse this thing for a Civic Type R, for example. But the racetrack does give us a good opportunity to sample the extra power that's available here in the hybrid version of the Civic. At 200 horsepower, that's up about 50 horsepower over the non-hybrid versions. Even the Civic Sport only has 150 horsepower these days. And so that extra 50 horsepower, it makes a big difference. You can definitely feel it when you're out here pushing on the track, when I've got my foot to the floor. And just as importantly, the electric power system from the hybrid gives you better initial throttle response too. So when I put my foot on the throttle, the initial tip in, I get a nice kick of electric torque. Then as I put my foot to the floor, the gasoline engine comes in and gives me good power throughout. So there's definitely a major difference that you can feel out here on the racetrack or in just day-to-day driving. And that's on top of the increased fuel efficiency that you'll get out of this car as well. Now, it's worth pointing out that this is just a straight hybrid. It's not a plug-in or anything like that. You don't need to plug this thing in to get that extra fuel efficiency. In fact, you cannot plug it in. Just drive it normally as you would any other car, and you should see a significant boost in fuel economy than you would normally. But you will notice that the car drives differently than a normal car or even a lot of other hybrids. The Honda system is really engineered to try to maximize the amount of time that it can spend running on just pure electric power. So when you're driving through town at lower speeds, you'll often find that the car is completely silent with no engine running at all. Or if the engine is running, you'll hear it running at a constant RPM, which gives it a little bit of a drone, which is a little bit annoying. But in that case, it's running what we would call a series hybrid mode, where the engine is just sort of spinning along, recharging the battery, and then the electricity from that battery is then powering the electric motors, which is what keeps you going. But when you get up to a higher speed on the highway or when you're driving more aggressively, like I am right now, at that point that gasoline engine spins up and you get the combined power of the electric motor and the gasoline engine to give you good power to drive you down the straight here. So that just leaves the final question of whether the hybrid is worth the extra money. Well, if you go for the fully loaded sport touring hybrid like we have here, you're looking at spending about $33,000. But you can get a non-touring sport hybrid for about $29,000, losing some of the luxury trappings. And frankly, that's probably where I would spend my money. That makes it about a $2,500 upgrade over a non-hybrid sport. And for the extra power and extra efficiency and extra drivability that you get for that $2,500 bucks, to me, it's worth every penny.